some more conversation on Island Tea. We'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Caribbean tourism is dead in the water and wholly dependent on what's next in the United States, Europe, and Canada.
Global cases have now passed 13 million just 5 days after we hit the 12 million mark.
In Jamaica, residents of the parish of Hanover are in shock over the brutal slaying of 6 family members on Thursday night.
Chauvin had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in total. It's too much. It's too...
The news does not always have to be about this. There's a lot of good news, good stories, good people, good ideas to talk about. So listen up on Thursdays to Only Good News with your host, Enoite Inanga, from 7 to 8 p.m. It's going to be only good news for 1 hour, where we will share good news from stories and people, locally, regionally, and all over the world. And there's more. You will get to hear from people telling their stories of success, breakthroughs, and perseverance as we feature a special guest each week. It's Only Good News, and it's happening this Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. right after the, regular news. Only Good News on WinFM 98.9 and winfm.com.
Find a way to spend your time in positivity.
Buster, pour it up, leave the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life. Refreshing and nice, and I drink that what we like. Buster, you're full of vibes, living full color. I know black and white, we do what we like. We live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up, If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life.
Welcome. Yeah, we just got ambushed. We got ambushed.
Just do a little briefing here.
Oh well, we'll brief on here. So welcome back, and we are jumping into Eat Local with Chef Larry Monrose. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And,
so for the listeners and viewers, we'd like to start off with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what it is you do.
Larry Monrose, aka Chef Love, Larry Love.
Chef Love?
Yeah. Larry Love, Chef Love was given to me by GQ. I used to do a lot of radio interviews with GQ in 2017, 2018, and he just christened me Larry Love because everything I do is with love. I cook with love. I love with love. I live with love. So just one day, and I used to wear a red jacket a lot. So one day after an interview, in fact, while on air, he just christened me Chef Love, Larry Love. And it's something that is factual, and it has a ring to it, so I just kept it. I like it. So I actually go by the name Chef Love, Larry Love. But my real name is Larry Monrose, and I hail from St. Lucia. I came here. Yes. I came in 2016. I first worked at OTI. And then 2018, I think, I moved to Royal St. Kitts, formerly known as Jacta. Sadly, a lot of people still know the place as Jacta.
Yeah, we will
regardless,
it will forever be Jacta. Sorry.
That's the thing about impressions, it's the last thing. No matter if you rebrand, no matter
Jacta.
what you do, people always, and as much as I dislike it, people still
good
call
luck,
a place
good luck getting it changed.
I mean, it's Royal St. Kitts, it's a new thing, it's a new place, So no matter what, you're still branded as the old you, and that's not a good thing if you think about it. Because, okay, let's say
because you're branded for a reason,
right?
Yeah,
to move on,
move on, to do something new.
Exactly. Like, let's say you have a little felony charge, whatever happened. Nobody knows what happened. You end up beating somebody, but people don't know you fought with the person because you had to protect your family. But all they know, you have a felony charge, right?
Yeah. And they stick on you.
Right. No matter what you do, like, hey, look, the man, I go jail. Like, that's what it is. So, but
people still refer to the floor as cable and wireless.
Yeah.
And lime.
And lime. I usually say lime.
And scantel. I would call it scantel.
Scantel.
I've been cooking for professionally from about 16, 18. And that's like half my life. Okay. So I just love food. I love cooking. I love teaching people how to cook. I love giving back to this Caribbean. Let me not say just the island, but I want to give back to the Caribbean. So that's what I love doing. That's me in a nutshell.
So you cook, you cook to give back.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to do. I already started giving back. Well, here locally, I've visited the Irish Town and William Corner. I'm also good with the faculty at CFBC. Yeah. My whole aim is to give back in ways others can't. So I have my culinary experience, and I know not everybody will have the resources to go to school, culinary school. As much as people love cooking and whatnot, it's very expensive. It's like a law degree. Trust me, it's very, very expensive.
Yeah. I have some friends in the field, and
according to, if you go to like the highly prestigious schools, Johnson and Wales, CIA, you're talking about 60,000-70,000 US.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right? So, I mean, my school is a highly respected culinary school. I went to New England Culinary. That's in Vermont, Montpelier, Vermont. Very expensive, but I went to school far up north because I didn't want to go to the popular schools in the popular areas like Miami or New York, or because I don't know if I would ever finish school. Just seeing some of those parties.
Yeah, you think you would get sidetracked.
Very much so. And that time I wasn't as focused as I am now. Thankfully, I had my call and I hit the call early. So I definitely want to give back. I've been giving back, going to schools, teaching people, how to do little things. Even with what I do now, is support the different ministries, like the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Agriculture. This year we had the virtual cook-off. And people ask me what I place, but honestly, I do it more to support the ministries because we have all the big name hotels. We have the Marriott's, we have the Kitishan Hills, blah, 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 Four Seasons and whatnot. And the ministries go through so much, time and effort to put these things together, these programs together, these ventures together. Yet you see very little support from the outside communities. Right? So it falls on people like me, like people like us, different chefs, to assist the ministries. And that's what I really do. I go out and I attend the cook-offs, I participate, and I just show people different skill sets. Because, like for this year, you had more home cooks, right? Congratulations to Pearl again. I can't remember her last name, but Pearl from Nevis, she won. And her first dish was very creative. She did shrimp tacos with plantain and whatnot. I gave her mad creativity points.
So how can I find her?
Shout out to Pearl, Pearl, her first dish was very, very creative. And that's the sort of thing I love supporting, That's the ventures, the activities I love being a part of. So I just find myself most times teaching people, educating, and just giving back with a lot of love. Everything I do is with love. So,
So what's your signature dish? the dish. Let's say, for example, there was a woman coming over that you wanted to impress. To your house. So you have to prepare a meal for her.
Chef Love.
Chef Love. His signature dish. The dish you're going to make for her, they say yes. When she finish eating this year, she's mine forever. She ain't going nowhere. What would it be?
What would it be? A trick question.
No, man.
No, I'm just telling you.
What would it be?
I love cooking so much.
And I want details.
So what's the appetizer? Is a three course?
First of all, set the mood. What kind of meal is it? Is it 2 course, 3 course, 4 course? If those things even exist, I don't know.
Yeah, you have like 5
12 courses and so?
6 courses.
Yeah, 6 courses.
Yeah, so what would it be? So she came into your house, she walked in the door, and you tell her good evening. What happened? What happened next?
To be honest, I might ask her to cook. Or if she's afraid, I will tell her, let's cook together. I not want to wow or try to really impress with my skills because I know my skills. I'm confident in what I do.
Listen to me. I'm not asking you to prove your skills to the woman. I'm asking you if you were to make a meal for somebody you love.
All right. Let me stick to the question.
That was doing this,
Let me stick to the question. I think I'm trying to be too straightforward here. Let me just stick to the question.
Yeah. What would you do?
To be honest, I know most women love seafood.
Yes.
That's a good start.
Yeah, man. Of course, how you mean? So I'll definitely bring out the lobster, bring out the shrimp. Okay. Most women love pasta, and most women love cream. Cheese.
So how would you do the lobster and the shrimp?
I might grill the lobster.
Okay.
I might grill the lobster, chop it up. Do it very simple. Honestly, people on the whole love simple.
Less is more, yeah.
Yeah. So I have my 3 S's that I go by: simple, sexy, and scrumptious. Right. So I stick to that all the time. Can't fail you. Anything you do, just stick to the basics. So I would just do a nice seafood pasta with some maybe sharp cheddar, aged sharp cheddar. Maybe some Parmesan. Parmesan, gorgonzola. According to just her feedback, what she likes prior to coming home.
Right.
So I would definitely do a seafood pasta, creamy seafood pasta.
And what wine would you pair it with?
If she is a flamboyant girl, I'll probably go with like a Moscato or something more on the sweet side. But if she's a more relaxed, chill, savvy, bougie kind of girl, I might use like a Chardonnay or something.
You were asking him because he taking notes, eh?
Yeah, well, it's according to...
Amali hiring Chef Love for his next...
Amali taking notes so he could know what to do, okay? So just
it also has to do with the ingredients you're using, because you don't want to have too many competing flavors in your...
Right, they have to complement each other.
Right,
yeah.
So if I do the lobster and the shrimp, I'll definitely stick with something to the sweeter side or the Chardonnay kind of side. Yeah.
Nothing too dry.
Nothing too dry,
So you clearly are you know what you're doing. So when did you start? When did you figure out you had this passion for cooking, and when did you decide to make it a career?
To be honest, from the time I know myself, I've just loved cooking. I love fire. I love getting burnt. I love knives. I love the kitchen. My grandfather used to bake.
This is a strange interest.
I love
Jade, you could come and stand up by the door,
please. Quick joke, right? When I was younger, about 8, 9, my grandparents were farmers, right? My paternal grandparents, right? Not paternal, sorry, maternal grandparents were farmers. And they had this tool hut. It was a house, a wooden house. They kept all the tools, they feed and everything. And there was this old sewing machine. You know the old sewing machine? Right. So, of course, like every other Caribbean child, I used to drive. In there. And one day I felt it useful to go up with matches. Right? So, after driving, I probably spent about half an hour driving. I started lighting a match and throwing it in the drawer and closing it. Alright, so and then I did that for a while. When the box was done, I left, and then all of a sudden, whoo!
I wonder how that happened.
I wonder because maybe the wooden matches in the wooden drawer.
That was crazy.
Oh.
My grandmother took like she cut a piece of hose and she just.
So now you make, not only did you burn down she
tool
hut, but you make a cut up she hose.
Yeah, so it's like double pleasure.
Because then you're gonna get extra because you make a cut she hose to beat you with it, eh?
And try the whole story to give while,
Of course.
disciplining me. But everything I've done in life is just culinary based, food based. I never wanted to be a doctor or lawyer. Everybody wants these prestigious jobs. And, parents always try to direct their children into the fields that are most,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody wants to say, oh, my son went to law school, everybody. They forget about the farming and they forget about the culinary arts. They forget about the tourism industry that is the main industry, the main source of our revenue in the Caribbean right now. So they forget about all that and they direct their children to these sort of occupations. But I always wanted to be a chef. My mom taught me how to clean fish at a very early age, so that was my thing. I used to collect my allowance, my school allowance, and buy balawo fried dry with my ketchup and pepper and my dry bread, my glass of orange juice, freshly squeezed lime juice. Because, like I said, my grandparents were farmers, so we always had the citrus and thing.
Right.
Yeah, so. And afterwards, I went to my local community college where I did food and beverage operations. I went into the field. I worked with sandals. I worked with the landings. I worked with a few names. Then I decided, you know what? It's time to take the next step because mommy always encouraged me to further my education. That's one thing with my parents. They always believed in education, especially my mother. Shout out to mommy. She must be listening right now.
Hey, moms.
She always tried to push me. I felt like one time she had given up on trying to get me to go back to school. But a day I was frustrated at work and I realized, you know what? It's time. So I went. Mommy mortgaged everything she had, Praise God for people like my mother who believed in me. So she mortgaged a house and land and I got the big, fat, ugly loan. Still paying my school loan, by the way.
Boy, rough.
I hope you're helping.
Yeah, you mean at home?
I hope you're helping, huh?
Yeah.
No, he paying the loan.
He paying the
I
loan.
paid my loan. What do you think? My mother will not pay. To give her credit, while I was at school, she did pay the interest.
And she supported you.
Yes.
Give you money to have in school.
To behave like a man.
But then she done.
Yeah, so. She paid the interest and then even when it was difficult when I got back to St. Lucia and finding a job, she helped, the first couple of months. And thank you, mommy.
Big up moms one time.
Shout out, mommy, one time. But I came back from culinary school, worked with Jade Mountain. I don't know if you all know the famous Jade Mountain in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
I worked there for a while. Then I have what we call in St. Lucia pat show.
I know pat show, hot food.
Yeah, what?
And part-time Lucian.
Okay. All right. This one, you tell me we have a solution.
Hot foot.
Hot foot, exactly. Pat show. I have pat show. So maybe after 2 years in St. Lucia, coming from culinary school, I went to work in the Grenadines. Then I came back, went off again, worked with Disney. Came back home when my dad died in 2015 and spent a couple of years home, maybe 2 years home. About that, had a baby, my second daughter, in that time. And then the pat show hit again.
And you moved to St. Kitts.
Yeah, man. But I feel like I've really found a home here in St. Kitts, regardless of everything else.
What's her name?
Yeah, how you know is that?
I know, man. Sugar City.
No, but seriously, St. Kitts is just, it's different,
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling Jada, out of my 40-something years on this earth, I never enjoyed a sunset or a sunrise until I moved to St. Kitts. I stayed.
Go on.
I live in working with OTI, I lived in the Pelican Cove suites they had there, right?
Right.
And one morning, I usually get up early, go running, gym, blah, blah, blah. So one morning I woke up, I went running, and then coming down Wigley Avenue in the corner there, just after Fort Thomas. You know, you have that clear there.
Right.
And then it just hit me like that, like boom. And I was like, what? That's a sunrise? No wonder people, you know, go searching for sunsets and sunrises. Like, it was amazing. It was really amazing. And then I started to hunt sunsets. And I just really, from there, really started falling in love with St. Kitts. St. Kitts is beautiful. All islands in the Caribbean, I will tell you, are extremely beautiful. But just something about St. Kitts, like, even coming on from...
She got him goodbye.
Even coming from Sugars, I don't know, probably you'll not notice because you live here, you grew up here.
You don't notice.
You know, when you get familiar with what you have, you don't usually appreciate it as much. And it always takes an outside eye to appreciate. Well, I'll tell you, St. Kitts is beautiful. Coming on Sugars, you know that raw terrain you see over the hill by St. Peter's, I think, by that mountain.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
I know exactly. Changes colors.
Yeah.
Changes colors. Yes.
Even, let me tell you, about 5:30, well, now it's getting dark early. So about 5, you want to go down there, just spend some time going up and down there. About 5:30, you will see how beautiful it is. One time I saw the sun rays just hitting St. Peter's. I was like, what? It looks like some kind of religious movie kind of thing. Like, Jah ready to come down for us from them sun.
The sunsets from the Bastille Valley, like, you know, so even if you're on that hill by like half moon looking back towards Bastille, like it's incredible.
Yeah, St. Kitts is very beautiful. So I feel like I found a home here. I'm still here. I'm hoping to do more in St. Kitts, give back even more. I want to do a soup kitchen.
Ooh.
I have plans. I mean, I want to help revitalize or rejuvenate or even create a new culinary team. I think I'll say let's start from fresh and create a new culinary team. I actually had a meeting with Mrs. Morton, Henry Morton, who is the PS, of course, for the Ministry of Tourism. And I don't know if I'm allowed to speak about it.
You'll find
out. Oh, yes. You're encouraged to do so, actually.
Yeah.
You could start talking about it, and if your phone rings, stop.
I approached Mrs. Morton on starting the culinary team again because St. Kitts has a lot of raw talent, a lot of creative people. Creativity is like everywhere in St. Kitts. If you just look at, for instance, the boys riding bicycle. Now, every island has
the bike boys.
Bike life.
But let me tell you, them man here, they skill, you know.
Yeah, man.
One time I saw a boy coming down a hill and he was on the frame of the bicycle surfing. I saw like a TV kind of.
Yeah, man.
No brakes, nothing, just surfing, cruising down, and I couldn't believe it. You know, we have a lot of skills, we have a lot of creativity, especially with our cooks and chefs, right? So I think it's time we start on the journey to really put St. Kitts on the culinary map of the Caribbean, because let's be honest, we're not there yet. We're not there. When it comes to food, people don't really see St. Kitts as a food destination.
Right.
And there is this newly emerging thing called food tourism. We need to get on the front too.
Yes.
Where all the bloggers, there are some restaurants in some parts of the world. Like in Spain, you have a number of restaurants in Spain. People actually save to go to this restaurant. They book a year and a half prior
just to go to this
just to go to that restaurant. There's this. The chef actually closed down to open a school. But for a number of years, the world's leading restaurant was called El Bulli.
Yeah.
Right? And people waited like 2 years.
Yeah, to get reservation.
Yes. And it's very possible for us here in St. Kitts because we have a lot of creative minds. We have a lot of skilled people. We just need the push and we need the guidance. And of course, with everything else, the journey starts with the first 2 steps. So I approached Mrs. Morton, and hopefully I sent a proposal. So hopefully the government will heed my cries and our cries. And maybe in the next 2 years, when the whole corona pandemic, everything is over or settled more or less, we could build a culinary team so we could start competing internationally.
Right.
St. Lucia has a culinary team, Barbados, Vinci, all the islands, Jamaica, everybody.
Not it, so.
No, son, why?
You're right.
And we have some gunners here, you know. I could start calling some real names here, you know.
Right.
Shout out to all the chefs, aspiring chefs, CFBC chefs. Once you love to cook, trust me, stick with your passion because it's a very rewarding occupation.
Right.
You understand? And the biggest thing about it is you have avenues to own your own. And it doesn't have to be some 5-star restaurant or whatever. You know, just a food truck by the square.
Yes.
You understand? Just driving around selling food. It's very rewarding. Very, very stressful.
Boss, and I'm gonna tell you this, right? Like, I've been blessed enough to travel around, and the food in St. Kitts, the food that we just take for granted, the food trucks, the guys that walk around and sell things out of the little thing on the shoulder and stuff, the flavors that you get out of these people, like, is amazing to me, right? Even the barbecue on the side of the road, I don't go anywhere else and find barbecue like you find in St. Kitts, you know?
Yeah, everywhere, you know. That's one thing I found really amazing. And shout out to all the Kittitians, because one thing I'll tell you about St. Kitts, you'll support your owner. It's crazy how much Kittitians support their own. And yeah, I'll tell you, boy, let me tell you, you look at me funny.
With the food.
With everything, you know. For example.
Tell us more about this phenomenon.
Believe me.
This all like a dragon story. But let me go.
Let me tell you, right? It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's possible. He means comparatively speaking. Maybe it's really bad.
Yes. When you compare to what I have experienced already, right? And I'm not knocking St. Lucia or other countries.
I knock it from there. You can knock it if you want.
No, I don't want no problem.
It's yours to knock. So
you know, I'm not knocking anywhere.
Right.
But I'm just being very honest.
Observation.
Let me tell you, y'all support your own. One time I was driving, vehicles around Kim Collins, like vehicles. I say, boy, it's Olympics. I say it's a big show. Preschool sports.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
Well, sports is something that we do support here.
So why are you watching me like that? Let me tell you, when you go to other places, people don't support local sports. People don't support local shows, Carnival Queen and thing. Like some places is actually dying, but when you come here, right? Well, let me not talk for what you know. I'm speaking from my experience.
I understand.
What I've seen and what I know outside, I find, in my most humble opinion, you all are very supportive of your own. Now
we love the kids here. We love the kids.
Now you are open and you know you are allowed to have your own opinion, which I respect. But
that's your observation.
That is my observation coming from where I'm from, and sadly we don't support our own enough in St. Lucia. But when I come here, I see something totally different. Even small inter-community football matches, like the place packed, like what going on?
And we'll take the compliment.
What going on? Like you can't even pass. Vehicles everywhere. You don't find that, and I'll be honest. Trust me. But I'm here to stay, regardless of if some people like it or they don't.
Watch it, right?
Well, you seem like you're about to do some big things in St. Kitts, so we'll keep you.
Chef Love, one of the things that I have observed, you're talking about observations. One of the things that I've observed throughout this entire interview is that whenever you're referring to something that you want to do here and everything, he always using the pronoun we, us, or our. That man's one of us now, yeah?
Yeah, affirmations, are you mean?
Like, but whoever she is, right?
Yeah.
Big up yourself.
Whoever she is, congrats.
One of our listeners, go ahead, sorry.
To her, you got him. Don't worry, you got him.
So one of our listeners is asking, have you ever cooked monkey while in St. Kitts?
It's not monkey, it's tree mutton, okay?
Yeah, street mutton.
It's
Tree-
tree mutton.
Have you ever-
Man really from here,
You'll
man.
make Peter come and
really
attack
from
you, like, you know?
Tree mutton.
Tree mutton is something that I have not experimented with yet, but from all indications, it won't be very difficult to prepare because it looks like mutton. From what I know or what I hear people talk about, tree mutton is sweeter than mutton itself. I just don't know if I could
Manage.
Stomach it?
deal with a little human being, you know. But by all means, like professionally, once I get my mind right,
You
if
can
it's
do
something I have to prepare for a client or
You do
they
it.
need this done, yeah, of course I might roast some tree mutton or slow braise that with some red wine.
Slow braised with red, yes.
Yeah, slow braise with some red wine. Yeah.
So when is he inviting the island tea?
I'm just going to say what
Jade, he should make the ribs first.
Yes,
I agree.
Jade has
Jade's
something
gonna
for
talk
us.
to you about
When is it,
something
next week?
happening.
But before we end, I just wanted to touch on a small project that I have working on. So big up AJ, my producer buddy, and myself. We're on this journey. We've started this journey, and we're about to start a food show. The name of the show, television series, is called Island Gastronomy, and it will be aired on ZIZ and other platforms. But really what the project is about is connecting the supplier and the customers, linking that bridge, because, you know, we buy lobster. You eat lobster? Right? Do you know what it takes to actually harvest a lobster?
It's about to work. Though.
Okay, so when...
And there's rules with lobsters as well. harvesting lobsters.
You know, when people go purchase something like Conker lobster, and the monger calls $25 or $22 a pound, people say, what? Like, but let me tell you, the amount of work, the effort they have to put into just going to harvest lobsters, right? Some of these guys spend an entire 8 hours out at sea, you know.
More than that.
Just to get
pulling traps and stuff like that. So the project we're working on is just to help connect that bridge and just to help celebrate what's ours here in St. Kitts and Nevis in the Federation. And by extension, of course, the Caribbean, because I see this project going very big. And I would like everybody to support it. It's very educational. It'll be an edutainment sort of show.
Edutainment.
Yes, sir. Edutainment, where you educate, you will be edified while watching, and you will be entertained.
Right.
So to help capture and keep, we plan to make it a very educational and entertaining show. Shout out to Mimi and the Armstrong Farms. We visited Armstrong Farms already. We did an episode on herbs and wax apple, and we made a nice, delicious summer sangria. Shout out Mimi and the sangria. Trust me.
I wish I could taste it.
Let me tell you, that sangria was...
I wouldn't know.
That sangria was delicious, super delicious. It had sugarcane, wax apple, carambola, pineapples, like you name it. Just nice, fruity summer sangria with white wine and Malibu, coconut rum. It was good.
Must be nice.
Where's the show supposed to be hosted? Where would people?
Well, we go all around. We go all around recording, and like I said earlier, it will be aired on ZIZ, and we will have a YouTube platform. So if you want to go share the video, but it'll for now, for the first few episodes, it'll be solely focused on the Federation. So we'll be recording in St. Kitts and Nevis. You know?
Nice.
So everybody will get a chance. And also, if you have any small mom and pop sort of establishment, you know, that has like, okay, good goat water or good cooker.
Right.
You want to big up the person. You want to say, okay, this is the best cook-up you've ever had. Trust me, you could find my number, 762-5322. Message me and we'll come down. We will shoot. We'll let people know the rest of the Federation and the rest of the world, because it will benefit the island that way.
Right.
So when we have our YouTube platform, and we're focusing on food tourism here right now, right? When people want to come down to St. Kitts and they say, no, what is there really to do in St. Kitts? and somebody directs them to our platform, then they could see all the amazing places they could visit and eat.
Yes.
Right? So we want to go by places like Mugs and Rasbo and Fish Shack and, you know, if you hear your name while I'm calling, just get ready for me to visit you, okay? But we need to visit these places and let the rest of the world and the rest of the Caribbean and the rest of the persons in the Federation, because there are a lot of people here that do not know what's going on here. When I tell people about Mugs in the Bay, people are like, what? What? Like, you never go to Mugs?
Yeah.
What
Dude,
is that?
I carried a guy to marry for the first time on Thursday. I couldn't believe.
How many that are doing married though?
I couldn't believe. Like,
Where is Mary?
On
Market Street.
Sells free fish and other things.
Okay, that's in the night.
Yeah, in the evenings, yeah.
Yeah, they told me about a guy.
I open for lunch every day now.
Yeah, no, yeah, after the COVID, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I heard about a guy who sells fish and fries and stuff.
Yeah.
In the market. Yeah, that's the places.
Check it out.
Yeah, that's the places I want to go. You know, that's the places I really think need the boost, and it's also a way of helping the Federation because we're hemorrhaging badly from this pandemic.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of the people do not see it because some persons are not affected by it directly. You know, the money not affected. Let's be honest. Because once it's money, people take notice. The money not affected, so they do not care about what's going on with the pandemic. So we need to help make the rest of the Federation aware of these small places that need our assistance, you know, to prevent them from closing down.
A lot of it happening in the bigger countries, a lot of the small stores.
Even international, like a lot of places from what my friends speak about in groups and stuff like that from back home, a lot of places we've grown to love,
closing down.
Yeah, they're looking to close up shop because it's just not happening. And it's not anybody's fault because if you're not seeing or you do not know where the next dollar is coming from, you're more reluctant to spend your money. Even myself, I'm penny pinching.
Yeah.
Because praise God, I still have a job. We open at Royal St. Kitts. Shout out to all the people at Royal St. Kitts, management and staff at Royal St. Kitts, where we have the best pizza. Let me just throw that in there.
Yeah,
we have the best Italian pizza.
I know, that's where my quarantine weight come from.
Yeah. Let me tell you, we have the best hands down, best Italian food on the island, and I'm willing to bet my career on that. Okay, not just because I work there, but it's because I know quality and I just all about quality.
Is quite nice.
I hope there's a gluten-free option.
Yeah, we're working on that. You know,
nice.
the saddest thing is we don't get a lot of gluten-free traffic, so it's very difficult to keep the product around. But I'm in the lab working on different gluten-free options, and even now we do have gluten-free options. Like we have a quinoa salad, red quinoa salad. Have you tried the quinoa salad? Anybody around?
This afternoon.
You no, just be
no,
wasting
I think I'll
time.
just go for pizza. Sorry.
So like I said, I'm here to stay. You know, look out for the show. Everybody, please come down to Royal St. Kitts and taste the pizza if you don't believe me. And if you have a problem with it, please let me know so I could give you another pizza.
Okay, I'll tell you.
I was about to say the pizza too small.
I'll tell you on my last slice that I have a problem. So.
It's okay. So that's me in a nutshell. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, thank you for being here.
Great show. I hope to be here again in the future when we start off the culinary team.
Yeah, of course. We need updates.
Yeah,
we want
the whole
to make
team.
something live in the studio.
And you have
not a problem, you know.
Set up a hot plate for y'all.
Yeah.
Set up a hot plate and y'all.
Not a problem. I have my mobile burner, my butane burner.
There we go.
So I could come and do that shrimp pasta we were talking about.
Can we book him for probably next Tuesday?
Just tell me, I will be more than happy to come and show off my skills.
All right.
Okay, so see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Well, that brings us to the end of Island Tea on this wonderful Wednesday, the something of September. It's hump day. The weekend is almost here. Hump day! The weekend is almost here. Drive safely. Do the right thing. Tell somebody you love them. And don't forget,
you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you're not a mug.